Okay, welcome to the class, dear participants. Albert and Rose, welcome to the class.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, how are you,
Good
Mr. Albert?
afternoon.
I'm good, boss.
Okay. Miss Rose, everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine.
Okay. Nice to see you. Okay, so last time we discussed about project portfolio matrix regarding the purchasing of commodities. We can segregate the things into four categories, and so today we are going to discuss further, right? So I'm just sharing the screen with you guys. Today our topic is about warehousing, and we need to discuss about it. And just wait, I'll share the soft copy in the group so that it will be okay for you guys to read from the slides also. So this is our group. And I'm just sharing the slides. Okay, so we have one class activity also for that. Okay, so I just shared in the group PPT slides and one class activity also. But right now we need to see some of the topics in the slide. After discussion, then we'll move to the class activity. Okay, I'm sharing the screen here. Okay, now, so this is the third session today, and we are now going to discuss warehousing, right? So what is actually a warehousing? Because after the purchase, when we successfully procure materials, when we successfully buy things, after that purchase we need to store that thing in some place, and normally the place is called warehouse. So warehouse is something that can store anything. Anything means the tangible thing, not the intangible ones. Intangible like services, right? So you cannot store services. You can store some tangible products, whether the things are in different forms, like in the form of solids, in the form of liquids, in the form of gases, semi-solids, semi-liquids. So these are the things we can say that can be stored in the warehouse. So warehouse is a point whereby things can be stored. What sort of things? That you just bought, or whether if you are a logistics service provider, then you just receive the things on the behalf of the original owner, then you need to store that thing in the warehouse for some time. So that is warehousing. And why we use warehousing? Because you see, I'm just giving you a small reference here. Let me share the screen so that we can write something about the warehousing. Okay, this is a class activity, and I need to open some simple file so that we can write. Okay, so this one is this. Okay, so when we say warehousing, so warehousing is something, a place providing the utility between, or you can say that provide the utility of storage. And usually the location of warehouse is between the starting nowadays and consumption points, right? So start point and the consumption point, we normally build warehouses so that it will be easy for us to deliver the thing when needed by the consumers or the market. So if you see, we normally, I'm just presenting two things. Just wait. Here we have. So this is the origin point, and if you are delivering things from origin to the destination without stopping, without you can say that without any interval, without any stoppage, you just decide to bring the things from point of origin to the destination without storing these things, then we can say that in our field we refer that term as long longer haul transportation. This is longer haul transportation when we are not using the warehouse. But if we decide that we need to store things and we need to deliver whenever there is a requirement, then we can say that, suppose if we decide to go and we deliver the things in warehouse, and from warehouse we deliver the thing to the destination, then we can say that this is shorter haul transportation. So it means warehousing, when you are considering warehousing, so it will bring you a concept of shorter haul transportation. And this one is a costly thing, right? This is costly, this one is cheaper. So the problem is we cannot rely without warehouse on the logistics. That's why, because every customer has different demand. If you see in the market, customers, they are requiring things at different times. So every customer, when, for example, if you have 100 customers, not all 100 customer will require things on the same day. Maybe some customers say, okay, please deliver us on 5th of the October. Some say deliver us on 1st of October. Some says I want delivery on 15th of October. So you cannot, rely on logistics every time. So you need to manage some of the storage facilities between the market, between your factory or the point of origin like factory, or your business point or a market or your shop, and the warehouse. For example, if you have customers, clients across the city, or maybe in another cities, then you need to establish warehouses or arrange warehousing facilities uh, like near the markets. So that is where we need to say the warehouse is there. And why it is a costly option? Because when you deliver things from your starting point, you need to load off things in the warehouse, right? So it's like unloading charges are there. Then you need to keep things in warehouse. If the warehouse is on rent, you need to pay the rent. If warehouse is your own warehouse, then you need to take care of electricity, you need to take care of the warehouse staff, in terms of salaries, insurance is there. So that's why all these things, when we consider these things, the cost is on the rise. That's why it's a costly option. But we cannot avoid that cost, because every customer, they have their unique needs, and we need to meet these unique needs at different times. So that's why we can say that warehouse is crucial. We cannot avoid warehousing function, citing that the cost is too high, because especially if you see during COVID-19 era, warehousing, was crucial at that time, because all the business functions, business organizations, they just reduced their business hours. Some companies, they went, complete shutdown. So the thing is, warehousing is essential, because in the wake of some catastrophe, in the wake of some emergency, it is the warehouse that will supply the goods to the market, to the consumers, in the, in the emergency and in the times of need. So we cannot avoid that thing. So when we are buying something, we are purchasing, so we need to store that thing in the warehouse. Maybe you can store your merchandise in warehouse. Maybe you can store your fixed assets, also fixed assets in the warehouse, like furniture, like some of the machinery. Whenever you require it, you need to bring from warehouse to the factory floor, or somewhere else where the machinery is needed. So coming back to the slide again, so we say that warehousing is crucial. So if you see the definition, it states that the place that store raw material parts, semi-finished goods, finished goods, all the things, that is called normally warehousing. Okay, what are the advantages of warehousing? So we already discussed some of the advantages. One more advantage, we can say, is the pricing. Because if you are working, if you're doing business in a relative unstable economy, then maybe you will expect the price change also. Or maybe if the economy is inflationary, like inflation is there, so maybe you will expect higher prices of the raw material or the purchased products. So in order to counter these higher prices, you may store the products that you just bought earlier. So warehouse will provide you such facilities. So benefits are there. You can store things for a longer time period, because nowadays we have a lot of different warehouses. Like for example, dry warehouses are there. We have some sort of cold storages where we can for some, products and goods. So there are different types of warehouses, and they will ensure that your product will be there. Your product will remain fresh, so that the business is there. So you will find customer whenever there is a customer, the product is there. So you need to just reduce the stock out cost, right? So what is stock out cost? I'll write the thing here, because when we say advantages of warehousing, so we have, because when we say warehousing is a costly option, why we say? Because warehousing issues, included the carrying cost, higher carrying cost is there. So carrying cost means the holding cost, means when you decided to hold things in the warehouse, you need to pay some sort of cost. These are different costs. I'm just writing some of the cost here. So it may be, storage cost, handling costs. There are, you may say, insurance cost, right? Maybe fuel cost, electricity cost, etc., etc. There are multiple costs associated with the storage, like carrying cost. So all are the parts of uh, carrying cost, right? But the benefit of warehousing, one benefit that we can contest with the carrying cost, higher carrying cost, is that warehousing will allow you to lower down stock out cost. Stock out cost is something, when customer demanded something and when the things are not available in the warehouse, then we refers that thing to stock out cost. So stock out cost is a situation whereby your customer is requiring the products and you don't have that product in the warehouse. That refers to stock out cost. So stock out cost, there are various consequences of stock out cost. So stock out cost means, one thing, what are the consequences of stock out cost? Sales revenue lost. That is the first thing. You just lost the sales revenue. For example, if the customer is asking about 100 units and one unit is of 1000 real, then 100 into 1000, 100,000 real, so that is lost completely. Second thing is the reputation of the business is online, because if this is the first time customer, then he will not come to you, he will go to your competitor, right? So it is not only stock out cost, not only is a cause of revenue loss, but it is also a cause of market share decline, it's a cause of reputation loss, it's a cost of customer loss also. So warehousing successfully lowered down that threat of stock out cost. So stock out cost, that is, I'm just writing some of the things like revenue loss, like customer loss of customer, market share, goodwill loss. So these are the consequences of stock out cost. So the thing is, warehousing successfully lower down that stock out cost. So it's crucial. This is the benefit of warehousing. So we cannot say that we don't need warehouses. Warehouses should be there so that we can manage our customer, keep the revenue up, and make our goodwill strong in the market. Okay, so coming back to the slide again. Okay, so these are some of the benefits. You can check. You can read these. We already discussed that thing. Next is the common concepts when it comes to warehousing, because this areas normally is the core area of the warehousing managers, but because we are the procurement professionals, our main domain is procurement, but at least we should know that what are the basic concepts that needs to be addressed, because when it comes to management, if you are serving the position of manager, then you must know that what are the associated functions regarding the procurement and how to manage the people there. So we should know these things in their domain also. So there are four actually storage a type of philosophies. When you are about to store things in the warehouse, four philosophies are there. One is called accumulation, other one is allocation, assorting, sorting out. One by one, we are going to discuss that. Accumulation is something that we say it is a, if you see the word accumulation, it means combination of different things, or when you pile up different things together, or when you add different things together in one place, that means accumulation. That means accumulating. So accumulating of the product means when you try to stuff all the purchased products in one warehouse. For example, if you bought machineries, if you bought furniture, you bought merchandise, and you put all these things together in one, in one place, so we can say that this is actually accumulation. So piling up or stocking different types of products having different nature, and you are putting all these things at one place, so we can say that this is accumulation of the product, right? So if you are a procurement officer, you have to procure different things, and after procuring all these things, if all these things just you just store in one place, then we can say that this is accumulation. So the thing is, accumulating, you can read, like for example, a departmental store just bought a large quantities of different men's suits from different producers, and if they decided to store it in the same place, in the same area, then this is called accumulation technique. Okay, the next technique is called allocating. Now, allocating is something that is a bit, you can say that, different from the accumulating, because in accumulating we discuss, we gather different types of product together in one place. But allocating is something that specifies some sort of specialty. Like, for example, allocating means division. It means when you try to divide, when you try to segregate different products according to their nature, then we can say that this is called allocation, allocating, or according to their size. So suppose if you receive, for example, pallet, if you have a pallet of 100 units, right? And you see pallet is like, enclosed, you can say that package that will contain, that contain normally, so many units. So if you try to break that pallet down into small quantities, and just putting these quantities into the available rack positions, into available rack spaces, then we can say that this is allocating. For example, if pallet contain 100 different units, and you have racks available in the warehouse, and only the rack has a capability of storing 10 units, then what you are going to do, you try to break the pallet of 100 units, and you just allocate 10 units to every rack. 10 units in rack 1 or rack A, 10 units in another rack, 10 units in the third rack, like this. This is called allocation. You just allocated different quantities according to the available space. So this is called a division, this is called a segregation, this is called a fraction, if you are trying to break quantities into smaller pieces so that you can store them well. You can store them according to their nature, you can store them according to the space available. So the example is there. You can read the example. It's also related to the same previous example of suit. So if the 5,000 suits are there in size 42, then the store may carry 15 or 20 suits in this size. Maybe you have to, store the other suits somewhere else in some, other, branch, or maybe in some other, compartment. Okay, so next is called assorting. Assorting is something when you try to, it refers to the next step, that when you try to present the inventory for the purpose of resale. So assorting means when you try to segregate the inventory, when you try to segregate the inventory into different price tags, like for example, different sizes according to their color, according to their version, if you segregate the things according to their characteristics, like characteristics may include size, characteristics may include the version, color. Like you see in the market, we see if we are going to buy shampoo, so the same company is offering shampoo in four different with four different ingredients and four different packings. So these are the these are the different things, so we need to assort them according to their volume, according to their prices, according to their features. That thing is called assorting. So this is another function in warehousing when you're about to just carry products from the warehouse to the sale point. And if you are just discriminating the products on the basis of sizes, on the basis of quality, on the basis of the features, then we can say that this is assorting. So another example, if you see the same suit example is there. So if you are considering different sizes of suits, 2 button suits, 3 button suits, etc., the features are there, different features are there. The fabric quality is different. Then we can say that actually this is called assorting. So suppose if you are about to buy something and you will find substitutes of that product, but for every substitute there is a different price tag because of their different material quality. Then if you try to manage things in the warehouse in that regard, that is called assorting. And the last one is called sorting out, and this refers to the product demand. You can say that price of the product, demand of the product, because notice in some areas same thing is you sell the same thing in one price, but if you are in the other area you may sell the same thing in a different price, right? Or maybe the high end product will be selling at some prime location. The low end products will be selling, the seller may decide to sell the product in the low rate. So these are called sorting out. So for example, if you go to the cinema, you will find the same popcorn for 5 real, suppose, and in the normal shop you will find the same popcorn for 3 reals. So prices will be different. If you see some of the products with the extended feature, you will find only in Dubai Mall or something. So the thing is, this process is called sorting out. When you try to just locate the inventory, when you try to move the inventory, and the inventory will be available according to the place, according to the demand of the product, you will charge different prices. It's in economics, when you are charging different prices for the same products, we call it as price dumping. So this is called, if you arrange inventory in that fashion, that will give you a different revenue stream, different rate from the other areas. Then this is called sorting out, right? Okay, so these are four of the things that we can arrange inventories according to these philosophies, that how we are going to sell them. So these philosophies are there. Okay, and next we have the types of warehouses. There are different types actually warehouses. Just you may check. Some are public warehouses. Now, what are public warehouses? Public warehouses means the warehouses that are available. You pay the rent, and you can get the space. But the thing is, these warehouses, if you opt for these warehouses, these are not very flexible. You need to follow the warehouse time schedule. You only access the warehouse in the office hours or warehouse working hours, and you don't have a custom crew members also, non and customer and custom forklifts available for you in order to manage your inventory. The inventory will be managed by the warehousing staff. So rent is okay. It's like you can afford it, but the freedom is not there. So that is the public warehouse. And if the space is available, you need to use that space. You cannot acquire more space if the space is not available. So things are there. But private warehouse, like if you have your own warehouse, suppose you see like large organizations, companies, suppose Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they have their own warehouses. So they just stored their products in their own warehouses. So it means freedom is there. Every time they can, access the warehouse, they can manage their inventory, they can change the position of the inventory, they can do anything. That is the private warehouse. So it means you have to construct your own warehouse in order to manage the things. And the third one is called contract. It is, sometimes nowadays it's a combination. It's a combination of public-private thing. So in contract, you entered into an agreement with the warehousing, party, and you contract. Okay, please, we want that space on lease. Lease means long-term rent, like for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. So you just entered into the contract with the particular warehouse service providers, and they just give you space you want, and they will charge for that space for a particular time period. The benefit is that you will get more customized services from the warehouse, but not 100% freedom is there in comparison to the private warehouse. So contract warehouse is like a combination of public private type of thing, whereby you can get the warehouse in for a long term, and you can manage your products better than the public facilities. The next one is called multi-client. Multi-client is something, it's a modern approach. It's like some warehouse, contractors, some warehouse landlords, right? They constructed the warehouse and they just entered, into agreement with the three, four, or, maybe like you can say that some clients, not exceeding 12, like less than 12, but the ideal multi-client is only 3 to 4 parties should be there, and they just work with those parties. Suppose if one of the warehouse, you can say that landlord, that the person is seeking 3 or 4 or 5 parties only, the sound financial sound parties, and that person only provides services to that parties, not the general public or other parties not welcome to get the space. So it's like a premium version of warehouse services provision. So the multi-client will charge more than the contract and more than the private, or sorry, public fees also. So that is called multi-client warehousing, whereby the warehouse service providers, they just entered, they just contacted the very less number of people who are interested to acquire the space, and they will provide the custom solutions also to these clients, but they will charge more than the contract and the public. And again, warehouse, as we discussed, warehouse are of different types. Some are dry storages, some are cold storages, some are suitable for gas storages, right? Some may not accept the, if you see the public or the contract, some may not accept the, everything in terms of goods, because you have to declare what sort of things you are about to store there. So some dangerous chemicals you cannot use the general public warehouse. So the thing is, warehouse are of different types, different kinds, and for gas storage there is specific warehouses. If you are storing dangerous chemicals, you have different arrangements of their storages. So every warehouse has their own criteria. Okay, so but the thing is, whether you are designing your own warehouse in case of public, try to just manage the space. So space management is all about that the width of the warehouse should be kept, narrow. Like you should keep the width narrow as possible. Like it means. Not very much narrow that you cannot move or the forklift cannot move in the premises, but to lower down the fuel cost, because if the width is high, in this demonstration if you see, receiving doors are there, shipping doors are there. So if separate receiving or shipping doors are to be engaged, then the width should be kept narrow, because like the forklift, it will bring the products from the receiving door, or if the facility is there, then to the shipping door the distance should be minimum, so that the fuel cost will be saved and the efficiency of the forklift or the transfer of the pallets from one point receiving door to the shipping door, the operations can be completed in a very short time. That is the main thing here. So, but again, it's not a standard that you need to, keep width at, at that meters. There's no standard. We cannot say that, okay, the width of the warehouse should be, 10 meters, or width of the warehouse should be 30 meters. There is no standard, because every product is different, every business operation is different. So if you are just for example storing some high-end industrial machinery spare parts, then you need more space. So depending upon the product, space varies, but the thing is, we need to keep the distance as short as possible in order to increase the mobility speed, increase the, you can say that the efficiency, and lower down the fuel cost. Okay, but there are some things that are standard regarding the aisle distances within the warehouses. We need to check that. So when you are building warehouse, either you can build horizontally, or you can build vertically, because nowadays vertical warehouses are common, because if you are taking up more land, it will cost you more. But if you build up in vertically, like high-rise buildings nowadays, it's also, in warehouses they're also trying to build vertically. So you can build, but the thing is, aisle distance should be monitored, because there are some standards that we can use in warehouses. So conventional aisle distance, aisle distance is something that is the distance between two racks in the warehouse. So the distance between the corridor, the distance between two racks is called aisle. So normally the conventional aisle is 13 feet. More than 12 feet means around 13 feet aisle distance is there. And with the narrow aisle is like from 9.5 to 12 feet distance, and very narrow aisle is less than 8 feet, like 6 to 8 feet is the very narrow aisle. So for every different aisle, like conventional aisle is there, you have a different sort of forklift model. For narrow aisle, different forklift is used in order to carry the pallets, and very narrow aisle, there's a different forklift is there. So for every different aisle, conventional, narrow, or very narrow, forklift type of vehicle, it varies, and according to the aisle, you should employ that vehicle. So these aisle are, standards. Three types of aisle normally used in the warehouse in order to manage the racks. Distances, 12 feet or more conventional. Narrow aisle, it's 9.5 to 12, and very narrow is less than 8 feet. Okay, just wait, I'll show you some of the images so that you can check. I'll open here so we can check the Okay, so I'm just opening one of the. Okay, so if you see this, there is a aisle dimensions and the forklift also, right? So this is like 6 by 6. It's a very narrow aisle, right? So it's a different type of a forklift that you can use in order to manage in that aisle distance. If the narrow aisle, very narrow aisle distance is there, if the width is very narrow, then we can use this. And in the narrow aisle, if you see, there's another model of forklift that you can use. That is for the narrow aisle that ranges from 9.5 to 12 feet of the aisle. And this is for the standard aisle that is 12 feet or more. That is like this is a demonstration of 13 feet aisle. So you can use this kind of forklift. So the thing is, when you see in warehouses, we have different layouts when it comes to the aisle management. We have different types of forklifts also, and we can use depending upon the nature of the product. So if you are about to carry heavy pallets containing hundreds of different subcomponents or subunits, then you may use this kind of arrangement. In the warehouse, we have to keep distance between the aisle, standard distance between the aisle, like 12 feet or more distance. But if the packaging is small and you are about to carry small pallets, then you may use the narrow or very narrow aisle distances, and you may use different forklifts in order to carry the products, right? Okay, so coming back to the slide. Okay, so these are some of the designs regarding the warehouse. And next is the cross docking illustration. Now, what is that thing, cross docking? Normally at seaports, at ports, dry ports, we use that cross docking, facility. Now, what is cross docking? Cross docking is sort of a warehouse. But the difference between the warehouse and that cross docking is that cross docking is a warehouse where you can store goods temporarily, like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, depending upon the reception and custom clearance. So, but in warehouse you can keep things for a longer time, longer term. So that is the difference, and cross docking serve as a mediating point between the receiver and between the sender. So you can say that if you see the products are there, three different products are representing by different signs like circle, square, and this hexagonal shape. So these things will be stored in cross-docking facility, and from there different things will be dispersed to the different areas. So cross-docking facility is something that relates, it's a temporary storage of the products, but this is different from the conventional warehouses, because conventional warehouses, the purpose of conventional warehouses is to store things for a long term or until it's sold. But cross-docking facility, the purpose is not until it's sold. The purpose is when the consignee is about to receive the product. So that is the difference between these two things. Okay, now I have one small activity for you guys, and I just want you to perform the activity. Okay. Okay, just wait. I'll I already shared the activity in the group with you guys. Okay, I'll open it right now so that you can check. Okay, so this is the activity regarding the warehousing. You guys listen today's session, and I just want you to solve it now. And after you solve it, then we'll discuss the answer, right? So before doing that, I suggest you guys to read the slide again. I already shared the slides also with you guys in the group. Just read the slides, and if anything is there, just tell me, right? So after reading the slides, try to attempt that quiz, and 5 minutes are for your reading the slides, and 10 minutes are for your solving the activity, and then we'll discuss the answers, right? And if you perform the class activity last time, we yeah, last time I shared the class activity with you guys, like the session two. If you all already attempted that activity, then we'll discuss the answers too. Okay. So you can now read the slides, and after reading today's slides shared in the group, try to solve the class activity. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Saddam, welcome to the class.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. How are you? Everything
I'm
okay?
good. Yes.
Okay, okay. Mr.
Alhamdulillah.
Saddam, you just joined late, but don't worry. I shared the slide in the group. You can just read the slide. And
Yeah.
this is the recording session also. You can also listen the recording after the class, no problem. Just
Mm-hmm.
read the slide and try to attempt the quiz, then we'll discuss that.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes, dear participants, what's the update about the quiz? Did you complete it?
Yes, done.
Done? Okay, okay. So what about Mr. Albert and Mr. Saddam?
Hi.
Yes, Mr. Saddam completed?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now I think we have to discuss the answers. Okay, now I'm sharing the screen with you guys. You can check your answers and just tell me the score. Okay, how many marks you got? Just wait. I'll share the screen with you regarding the answers, and then we'll see this. Okay, so you can check your answers. Yes. Yes, what's the score? Yes,
Uh,
you can send the score in the chat section, no problem.
I have a question. Number two,
Yes, ma'am.
it should be both, right? A shorter hole and longer hole.
Okay, I'll just open the number two question. Just wait. I'll share the question two. So question two is okay. Let me open first the file, then we'll see this. Okay. So the question two is warehousing generates shorter haul transportation, longer haul transportation, both, none. Okay, so you see, if you see the both, because when we discuss longer haul transportation routes, longer haul is the condition whereby you are not considering the warehousing as a essential function. For instance, I just refer to the current lecture we were discussing in the class. This one, if you see. So here we already discussed two things that when if you are about to move the product from origin to the destination without considering the warehousing, then it will be considered as longer haul transportation. But when you decide to move the things from the starting point to the warehouse and then from the warehouse to the destination, then it is called shorter haul transportation, because this one is like you deliver the product in the warehouse, and from the warehouse another vehicle or another day you will pick things up in the warehouse. Uploading sorry onloading charges are there, and then you will deliver to the destination. So this will be considered as shorter haul when you just use warehousing as a function between origin and the destination. So
Mm-hmm.
considering this, we can say that warehousing normally generates shorter haul transportation because you need to stop at the
In the
warehouse,
warehouse.
yeah, and then to deliver the things to the destination.
Okay, okay, noted.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we just got the response from Mr. Saddam, and Mr. Saddam said score is 8. So 8 out of 9. Very good score, Mr. Saddam. MashaAllah, this is a very, very good score. Excellent score. Very good. And what about our other participants? I'll share the class answers again, just in case if you are doing this, you can see. Yes, so we have, okay. Okay, so what about the uh, session 2 activity? You guys performed that activity also? Or maybe you need time to perform, because I know that you guys are professionals, and it will be difficult to manage the time. Miss Rose says 8 out of 9. That's amazing. Very good. Good score, mashallah. Good understanding. So for the activity session 2, if you didn't perform because of some commitments or work routine, no problem, you can still perform it. And when you perform it, just tell me, then we'll discuss the answers of that activity also, okay? And this is our third session. Just remind me in the fourth session, then Mr. Albert said 6 out of 9. Okay, fair. It's okay. It's not a bad score. I understand that, because I just gave you assignment, the quiz right now after the lecture. Maybe if I, give you time to prepare this and then perform the activity, then maybe you will get full marks, all of the participants. But still, 6 out of 9, very good. So we were discussing that in our exam, you see, these activities are only for the, understanding, because this will prepare you how you are going to face the final exam. So the question like these will be asked. So just remind me in the next session, like the fourth session or the fifth session, I will share you with some, question bank, right? Like some questions will be there, and you are expected to practice that question bank, so you will know how to prepare ourselves for the finals, right? So we'll discuss that thing. I'll share with you these the question banks. Then we will discuss the pattern also. So don't worry about it. But I just want your cooperation in that regard. Whenever you will find time, just try to practice. Just try to solve the activities that I shared with you guys in the group, so that if there is any issue or any problem with any question, we can discuss it and we can sort it out. Okay, so this is it for today's class. If you already performed the class second session activity, then we'll discuss the answers of these activities too, or if you have any other question, then we'll discuss that thing.
Last week, session number 2, activity 1, I wrote something for the impacts for
Okay,
each.
so you wrote something.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. This is activity one of session two, right?
yes.
Okay, let me open that thing so that we can exactly see. This is class activity one of session two, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I'll share here. Then we'll discuss that thing. So this one is here. Okay, I think this one, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yes, miss. What's your analysis about that constraint?
For the first one, increase the production cost due to higher raw materials, because if it having a shortage of the raw materials, it means that the cost of this it will be higher.
Okay, so the production cost means the when we produce these things, the finished goods cost, it
Mm-mm.
will be higher because of the shortage. So we might end it up selling the same product in higher price.
Yes, and
Okay.
also the strain on the relationship with the distributor to the retailer.
Okay, okay. And what about the relationship with the suppliers? Because as a procurement, professional, we need to analyze that thing that if
Yes,
the raw
we need to
shortage
meet
is there.
because we need to meet the number of the supply for our distributor. So
Mhm.
it will be having an issue impact on this one as well.
So what is the solution to these impacts? For example, like if we are facing the raw material shortages, then what do you think that how can we manage that shortage in terms of supplier relationships? How you are going to see this?
For me, I think we need to plan early for the or we can store some parks as early we have, so that if ever that the electronic device or machinery will fluctuated, we still have stock on it.
Mm-hmm. So early stock is the viable option. You can, and one more thing. What about that strategy? If you increase your number of suppliers in the wake of that, for example, in past you observe that a particular raw material is was short in the past, and now it may happen in the future also. So, what do you think if we increase the supplier base? What do you think? Is it a good strategy or what?
I don't know yet.
Okay, okay, no problem.
What do you think?
Yeah, because the Walmart right now they have more than 6 to 7 thousand suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
So some businesses they actually use that thing. But don't worry. You have to just think about it. What if we increase the number of suppliers? Because when we increase the number of suppliers, the thing is we need to minimize the shortage, raw material shortages, but at the same time we have other cost factors to be considered when we are increasing the number of suppliers. So just think about it, then we'll see that thing also, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what about the second one?
What I
Production
have
capacity
here
limit.
is manufacturers limited number of assembly line. It will be longer lead time
Okay.
for the product for the production of the products. That would
Okay.
be cost
So
or
lead time is going to increase, like the
mm-mm.
delivery of the products may be delayed.
Yes, it will be delayed,
Okay.
and also inability to meet the market demand fully.
Okay. So today we discuss one point that stock out cost may be the factor. For example, if there is a sudden demand in the certain demand of a product is there, and if we are unable to produce that thing according to that demand because we have some constraints, we cannot produce more than that capacity, then
Mm-mm.
maybe the stock out cost will be the factor that will contribute, right?
Yes, also the quality of the product.
Yeah, quality also. Okay, so these are the impacts, and how you are supposed to resolve these impacts? What strategy
Mm,
you may use?
I think hire more manpower or add some machines. I think,
Okay, so when we
but
are adding some machines and
mm-mm,
adding some manpower, so we need to think two things, right? When we are
mm,
adding more machines, it means we need more capital, more
yes,
investment required, and we need to do analysis about the firm's capability, budget, whether
mm,
they are ready, whether the finance department gives us
enough,
approval.
uh-uh,
We
enough
need to
fund.
think these factors, yeah.
Yeah,
And
actually, in every situation, there's a con and cost. So it will be need to study it well before providing. I mean, it's we need to study it before we do something
yeah,
for
exactly.
efficient and some impact of the product
Exactly.
manufacturing.
So this is for the solution, right? Like
Yeah.
the long-term solution. Okay. If I ask you, I agree with you because if we want more machines or if we want, to hire workers, these things will be, there, but it needs approval and they will solve our issues in the longer term. But what if I ask you as a professional, like as a manager, a short-term solution, how you are going to fix this thing for a short term, like to manage the production capacity limit? What things you can do, for example, if you're a manager there?
Mm,
Maybe what if you change the schedule, production schedule, right?
and make it longer like that. That schedule, for
Yeah,
example, it's
workers working schedule, like machine running schedule, like if you can do a little bit thing in
mm-mm,
order to fix in a short term. I'm not saying that it is going to help you in the longer run, but in short
mm-mm,
term, how you are going to, I'm just giving you an example. For example, you can stop orders. For example, let's say you have five customers, right? Some customers, they need the material at the end of second month, or some maybe they just want the material at the end of third month. But we have some customers, like one or two customers, they just want the delivery quickly. So maybe because of the limited machines, we may change the schedule, right? Maybe we can halt the production of those customers. They require them products after 2 months, 3 months, and we try to use all the machines, right, all the machines capability in order to serve the customer who needs to be delivered in sorry, in a week or in a 2 week time period. Like this, I mean, we can increase the number of hours, we
Mm-hmm.
can add the overtime, we can do, like, these are the short term solutions, right?
Okay. Or also we can also hire subcontractor
Yeah,
for
like outsourcing is there. Outsourcing.
outsourcing. Yeah.
Like you can outsource some, you can say that unimportant type of works, like some easy works or
Mm-hmm.
not a very core works, you can outsource.
Okay. Okay.
So these are some of the things you can manage that constraint in a short term.
Okay.
Okay, so what about the labor shortage? This is the same, like
Yes.
we discussed.
Increase of
So
increase overtime or
yeah,
reduce reduce the output of the facilities.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I remember with the term of labor shortage, actually, it's not associated with procurement, but because of the part-time labor engagement. I remember one case. It's a case of British Airways, actually, and it happened in 2010. And what happened that in 2010, British Airways employees, they went on strike. There were some issues with the management, employees and the management back then, on discounts or some employee benefits, and they just went on strike. And what
Mm-hmm.
happened? British Airways, they just completely ignored the demands of the employees, and they just hired temporary employees in place of the permanent one. And that strike standoff remained for a 1.5 year. And in that time period, the British Airways suffered millions of pounds loss, approximately 531 million pound of loss. So the thing is, when there is a labor shortage, and when we see that we can have some temporary labor, or maybe some other labor in order to manage the things, we need to take care of some of the economic matters also, because sometimes employing some other labor in place of skilled labor may not increase the revenue, but also contributes to the loss. So we need to check the economic condition also. Who are our competitors, how we are going to employ and manage our labor in order to provide goods or services, right? Okay, so but the thing is, if the labor shortage is there, then you may use overtime techniques in order to manage that constraints. Or
Mm-hmm.
even, in Qatar's labor law, if you see, the overtime payment is simple, that more than 8 hours, 25% above
Addition.
the standard rate. So this is the overtime. And if the worker is giving, overtime in the night shift, like from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., then the rate is 50% above than the standard. So it means if the 100 real is the standard rate, then 150 would be the rate per hour in the night time. And especially in the holidays also, if the worker is working, then 50% more than the standard rate. So the thing is, whenever we face the labor shortage, and we employ the tactics of overtime, how to manage the skilled labor, we cannot hire labor full time, then we may use this overtime calculation in order to check that what will be the total cost, and how it is going to impact our overall revenue. So we can employ these things. Okay, so what about the transportation and logistics?
It will be increase the cost or routing the delivery or alternative, for example, hiring also subcons like that.
Hmm. Okay, so Mr. Saddam, you also performed analysis on these activities also? Mr. Albert, Mr.
You didn't check
Sudani.
this because I did not, come last class, so I did not attend the last session.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
I
So
will,
yeah,
so I need to, go through this, the video and.
okay. So a recording session, is there. You can check the recording, and
Mhm.
after checking the recording, after attempting this, we'll discuss about more it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, why not? So, what about Mr. Albert? So, okay, I think Mr. Albert is busy in work. Okay. So the thing is, in logistics, transportation, the main thing is when the shipping lanes, when these are, there are blockages there, then it will not only increase the lead time, but it is also increasing the uncertainty about the, market demand also. Maybe customers, they will find some substitutes, so it's not going to help the businesses. And we have occasions, if we recall some of the incidents from the past, we notice that because of these issues, logistics, transportation issues, the overall price of the stock or the product increases significantly, and it will not only hurt the business profits but also hurting the future customer market. So the thing is, we need to find now that what is the solution. Last time, you guys, if you recall, we studied two things, two market purchasing techniques. One technique, purchasing technique, was the based on quality and the cost, right? And the second technique was based on the market access. So first technique says that we need to buy from a market where the cost is lowest or the quality is unbeatable. If you follow that technique, then you don't care about the logistics or transportation because of the lower cost or a higher quality. But if you want to cover that problem, like you see, the shipping routes are going to be blocked because if you are just purchasing things from a very far area, then anything can happen. So, for that, if there is a risk of any war or any geopolitical instability or any of the thing, then you may use the second purchasing strategy, that is the market access strategy. Market access strategy says that you need to buy from nearby markets, nearby areas, so that you can reduce the logistics, possible losses. You can reduce that thing. You can mitigate the transportation issues effectively. So in case if the longer distances are there and things are not good in terms of economic conditions, geopolitical conditions, then it is better to use second purchasing strategy. So if these things are there, then the impact would be longer lead times, higher prices. And how to mitigate these? We need to work on the other strategy, that is the market access strategy, right? So if you see the past incidents, you guys, if you recall, one event happened, in the last 10 years, when, evergreen cargo ship, actually that ship blocked the entire Suez Canal. And because of blockage of Suez Canal, 70% of the world trade choked, right? And because Suez Canal is not a natural canal, it's a man-made canal, and Egypt gave that path in order to connect the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea. So the canal is not very wide, so a cargo ship entirely blocked that thing. And because of that, the whole supply of the products from the Asia to Europe to America, and from America Europe to Asia, entirely cut off that time. So the thing is, these things happen, and especially during COVID-19, if you see, lot of supply chain issues were there, logistics, transportation delays were there. So things happened. So we need to use another strategy regarding the purchase if these are some of the risks associated with these. Okay, just wait. I'll try to share with you guys. Okay, just opening the blockage regarding evergreen cargo ship Suez Canal blockage, right? It will be. You will search by yourself, right? You see this one. If so, you can see this incident. It's 5 years back. That ship blocked 6 days in March 2021, right? 400-meter long ship. So for that, I try to find the images so that you can see. Okay, I think this is the image. You see, this is the canal only, the man-made canal. So this ship blocked the entire, way. So it's this ship like this, right? Cargo ship, and it blocked. So what happened? All the trade cut off at that. So you will see some of the images there. And for 6 days, the 70% trade of the world, blocked. And in that time period, prices rose significantly. So you can see some of the drone images also like this, right? So the point is, these blockages, happen, and because of that, the trade route will be on the line. So just wait, I'll show you the exact Suez Canal. So Suez Canal is something. So if you see, this is Egypt, right? This is the Suez Canal. It's actually connecting the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea. So it's not a natural canal, but a man-made canal. And if you see the map, so this is actually Suez Canal route, right? So it's not a natural one. So this is Red Sea, this is Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, Arabian Sea, Red Sea, this is Mediterranean, this is Atlantic. So actually, before that canal, let me open the world map. I don't know whether you guys are able to see it properly or not, but try to open the world map so that we can understand further. So if you see this world map, right? Okay, so it's visible now. I think second one is okay option. We'll use the second one. Maybe this one with the demonstration. Let us check. Okay, now just tell me, is it visible? So if you see this area, this is actually the Suez Canal. So what happened that before that Suez Canal, the normal trade routes were like this. If, for example, China, India, or some of the countries, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, any of the country from the east like Japan, if they want to deliver their products to the European market, or like some of the African states, or South America, even North America, the usual route they follow is from the Strait of Malacca to whole African continent. So they just cross the whole African continent like this, and then they will enter the Mediterranean to the European market, or they just move to the Atlantic to the USA. So now if you see, that, Suez Canal, they just move the product from there and from there to there. So entire African continent, movement, the entire thousands of kilometers, they save that distance, right? So the thing is, now this is a very crucial choke point in terms of logistics. So anything happen to that logistic point, it will, increase the lead time, it will increase the cost, it will increase the uncertainty. So these things may happen if these are some of the issues. Okay, so coming back to the activity now again. So there was, we're discussing, yes. So things are there. So quality control issues regarding what do you think? What will be the impact?
For me, if we're going to change the for example the raw material, it will be harm for the person who will be taking that one because it's
Mhm.
different ingredients already.
Okay. So what impacts do you think? For example, one is the problem with the good quality materials. What will be the impact?
It, as I said, it will be harmful for the
Harmful,
one.
yeah.
It will be harmful for the patient who will be having or serve this product or
Okay,
this.
what about the any harm for our company like pharmaceutical
Mm,
company?
it will be in if we are for example we are dealing or we change the raw material, it will be by law we can be sued by the client or the patient.
Okay, so what do you think? Let's say, as a purchaser, as a procurement professional, now we understand that we can be sued by the patients, we can be sued by the public. So as a procurement professional, how can we save ourselves when we are about to discuss things with supplier regarding that, raw material? We can demand some of the ISO certifications from that supplier, right? we can
Certificates.
we can ask them, okay, we are about to buy our raw material, negotiations are there, anything, but we can ask them certain certifications, right?
Mm-mm-mm.
Like ISO quality certification 9000. Then the second thing is environment protection as a byproduct or something, like if they're packing the medication in a certain material, we can ask them some ISO certifications whether they have that or not, right?
Okay.
So this is the thing, we can make some sort of quality control whether we need to buy the product or not.
It also the quality tests of the raw materials.
Yeah, quality test, how many tests they actually performed.
Mm-mm.
We need these reports. And after considering all these things, then we made a decision whether to buy from that supplier or not.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is there. And technology. Yes, what about technology? It's a very general thing, by the way.
Higher maintenance.
So, outdated technology usage.
It would be higher maintenance and repair costs. If
Repair costing, spare part costs also.
yeah, parts.
And how to fix it? How to fix it?
I think we can purchase some materials or some product or technology product that
We
for
can
example
use
general like it's general materials that it's easy to find the parts like that.
okay. And what about the, for example, the mechanism you are using? to operate or to produce something, or to manage the raw material. Maybe we can use some specialized softwares, or maybe updated softwares, or maybe we can discuss with some companies regarding licensing. We can use that thing, right, in order to just manage our warehouse operations, in order to manage our production operations, to just lower down the incidents regarding the failure of robotic systems or something, right?
Oh, okay.
Right now, you see, nowadays cyber attacks are very common.
Mm-mm.
So if the cyber attacks are there, and there are glitches in our software or some security systems, then it means that we are currently using the outdated technology. If for example you are using a 5 years old software with no updates, then
Mm.
maybe you are prone to some new cyber attacks, new kinds of viruses. So we need to update that thing in order to lower down the chances of online hacking or something. If our supplier portal, customer portal will be hacked, we cannot do anything, right? It will be a loss. So we need to update that thing. It's like a priority. If you are a e-commerce business, then you must use updated licensing softwares with the
Mm. Or
you can,
even hire professional ITs.
yeah, you need to hire IT professionals so that they can look that thing.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so this is the way you can try to lower it down. What about the reliability of supply?
Forex delivery.
It's a, if one supplier fails, then what will be the consequences?
It for example, if the materials is seasonal, it will be miss the, for example, in fashion, if the cloth is for summer, if we come, it will have, if there's an event of delay in delivery, it will be misupdated or unupdated fashion trend already, like that. That will be the cause.
Hmm. Okay, so it means if you don't get the delivery, then maybe you will miss the season. You
Yeah.
may not be able to meet the demand of the consumer, right?
Yes, it
Okay,
will be.
so how can you manage that thing? For example, what's the solution according?
For me, I think it will be planned early. So before that season will come, you need to plan 2 months to deliver all the new fashion trend until the season will come, like that.
Okay. And for that, what you need to plan early? For example, what inputs you need to plan early? What
Ahead
kind
on
of information?
manufacture the material or the clothes or the materials, or collect the materials earlier for before that season.
Hmm. And
So, and
okay,
manufacturing it and deliver it ahead on time.
okay, and we need to assess the demand also in the market.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the things that are related to our procurement, how it will impact the business, and as a manager, how we are going to address that thing. Again, we need to consider several factors, several solutions. We need to give weight to each solution to see what is the right solution we can do. But according to situation, we have to take different steps. Okay, so nice to have you on discussion, Miss Rose, regarding this activity, and I also welcome Mr. Saddam and Mr. Albert. in the next class, if you attempted that activity, then we'll discuss. Plus there was a second activity also about this second session, so we'll discuss the answers of that activity too. So but just read that, just review that, and inshallah in the next class we'll discuss further, and we'll discuss the previous activities answers also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, dear participants. We'll just conclude our today's session. Inshallah, see you guys in the next class. Please take care of your great selves, and thank you very much for today's class.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salam. Thank you, Ms. Rose, and thank you, Mr. Alba.